This is DigiVision Network.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of DigiVision Network with Bayro Agabi. I'm your host, Princely Momodu. On today's show, we will find out how a training organized by the Nigerian Postal Service will aim to boost the courier and logistics industry in Nigeria. We will be having the Director of Legal and Regulatory Service of the NCC, Josephine Amuwa, as our guest on the show. And we'll also be looking at the top 5 military technologies. But first off is the news that made rounds in the technology world during the week.
Finally, the winners have emerged at the grand finale of the maiden edition of Nigerian First Marketing and Media Hackathon tag MacHack 1.0, organized by the Eco Innovation Center in collaboration with GDM Group. LiveBig, a new platform for content creators to market and deliver their content, emerged the overall winner of the MacHack 1.0 competition. The founders of LiveBig, Shedrack Akao and Ernest Ogbenefe, was given the sum of $10,000 as the overall winner of the marketing competition. For innovating a new way for social gifting and content monetization, Sprayme came second position and received a $4,000 prize money. RealBoats emerged the third winner with $3,000 for creating an intuitive platform that helped brands connect and command higher brand loyalty. Founder of Eco Innovation Center, Victor Afolabi, said the winners and runner-up will also get working space at Eco Innovation Center, while the finalists will also have access to join the EIC Accelerator Program and GTEC's Global Page event in Dubai. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and the Bank of Industry inaugurated an ICAN BOI Tech Hub for job creation, skill development, and entrepreneurship in the technology world. The inauguration of the project, tagged as ICAN BOI Technology Innovation Hub, held at the ICAN Annex Office, Ebutemeta, in Lagos on Tuesday. The president of ICAN, Ms. Comfort Olu Enyitayo, in her speech while commissioning the project, said the hub would help the institute and its members, including the participating public, to leverage the growing community of tech and innovation talent for delivering new accounting and business-related digital products and services. She also said that the institute sought collaboration with BOI as part of its overall strategy for building digital and entrepreneurial skills and competencies of its members and the public.
The MD, Chief Executive Bank of Industry, Mr. Lukayo, for doing us this great honor today and for donating this innovation hub to ICAN. Pray that the partnership of BOI and ICAN will continue to grow.
According to the Managing Director of BOI, Mr. Olukayode Pitan, young people were embracing the entrepreneurship mindset and the technological skill, which had resulted in the provision of innovative solutions, servicing millions of people in diverse sectors and the bank through its corporate social responsibility.
This is the area to go. The young ones can actually self-employ themselves. They can be in Nigeria here and work for companies outside Nigeria, make good money, meaningfully. So for us, we are investing in the next generation.
The hub comprises of 250 co-working space, meeting rooms, and private offices, a vast area of assembling competitions, provision for all fiber network and IT equipment, power supply, and all staffing needed to make the tech hub function appropriately. Nigerian government has approved tax relief for tech startups to encourage and support the development and growth of more innovative-driven enterprises. This was disclosed by Nigerian Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Ali Pantami. According to the statement, the tax reliefs and incentives would help to create millions of jobs in the country. Pantami said the initiative is a part of the number of the proposed strategies made at an interactive forum held on 22nd February 2022, when he led a federal government delegation on a working visit to the Lagos digital innovation ecosystem. He also said the government will continue to position Nigeria to develop the tech ecosystem to transform Nigeria into a country with a sustainable and thriving digital economy.
This is DG Vision Network. Remember, you can always stay up to date on the latest on ICT, business, and innovation by visiting our website www.dgvisionnetwork.com and subscribing to our YouTube channel, DG Vision Network TV. And also follow us on the social media handles displayed on your screen. We are lucky to be living in a time where we have many options to explore for financial transactions. As a matter of fact, we live in a time where we can operate cashless. But let's face it, there are still times we need to carry cash around. But still, gone are the days people have to take tally and queue at banking halls to get their money. We now have options to explore. You can either go to the ATM machine or to a POS agent. But which is your go-to place to get your cash and why? Listen to the thoughts of Nigerians on this.
I patronize POS most actually, but I prefer ATM because I don't have an ATM card at the moment. Because I've had issues of POS declining transaction, and when you go to the bank before they rectify the issue, it takes a lot of time compared to ATM. When there is probably an issue with transaction in the ATM, it takes faster time to be rectified than POS.
My name is Ogunsomi Maruf Azan. Well, I prefer to patronize ATM, but the banks, they make it impossible for us to patronize ATM. They discourage us from going to ATM. Rather, they want us to go to POS because of the money POS is generating. Because when you get to ATM, you not get money there, so you'll be forced to go to POS to collect the money. So they made, even beside POS, beside ATM machine, you see POS agents trying to lure you to come and get your money through the POS. So I still prefer ATM.
Normally, I patronize ATM because ATM is more flexible than POS, and because of security issue and trust like that, I prefer using ATM. You know, it's something that guarantees you. With your ATM, you input it into the system, it gives you the figure that you needed. You know, POS, you cannot check your balance. There are some places you make use of POS, they will tell you that you cannot check your balance, they are not allowed to access all those kind of stuff. So for me personally, I prefer ATM than POS.
For me, it's faster to patronize the ATM, the POS agents. It's closer and much more faster. Generally, I think the financial system is expanding. The Nigerian financial system is obviously expanding, and we must come to terms that the POS agents are also helping out in the financial issues and challenges of the moment.
I patronize the POS more often than the normal ATM. Number one, because when you go through the POS agents, number one, you spend lesser time, you understand, and because of the queue that you experience on the other side. One of the experiences here that I've had so much and the POS, anytime that I make use of the POS, I notice that some of the agents do hold back the receipts, and which I do not like. Some of the times I will need to ask them, why are you holding back my receipt? Is it that you want to use it for something else, and which is not appropriate?
ATM, of course, because I use ATM often because I do not have to pay for using the ATM. But sometimes when I'm stranded, maybe short on cash, I use, the POS. But I do not really, it's not my go-to because of security reasons, basically. Candidly, so far, my experiences has not been really bad, except for reports that I hear from other persons that maybe they had challenges using a POS machine and they were duped, and some other insecurities at that. But personally, because most often I'm with my ATM, I get to use my ATM, I have not encountered such situation. Oh well, I don't know. I just don't know what to say. But basically, whatever works for you is quite fine. And maybe the banking industry might want to look into it and prefer possible solutions to people out there.
Welcome you to this new ride, a digital ride that takes you into the lifestyle experience of innovation, tech impact, and new business frontiers. This is DG Vision Network. On a weekly basis, we keep you well informed of developments and trends. Now the tech ecosystem is impacting politics, business, public and private enterprise management, plus how the new digital life can transform your business. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
Nigeria's courier industry is said to be worth over ₦1 trillion and still remains untapped. To achieve the full potential of these industries, factors like enabling environment, policies, and innovation will need to be set in place, but all these will come to nothing without efficient and skilled personnel. This is why the Courier and Logistics Regulatory Department of NIPOST organized a training program for its staff across the country. Find out how this training aims to affect the growth of the courier and logistics industry in this report. Globally, the logistics and courier industry has experienced a lot of changes in the past few years, ranging from revolutionary change in new technologies to change in economic climate that have greatly impacted the way carriers do business. The current state of logistics in Nigeria is still emerging and has a long way to go to match up with its global counterparts. In Nigeria, the sector is highly fragmented and still poised with some challenges. This formed part of the core for a training organized by the Nigerian Postal Service to maximize its potential as a regulatory agency of the Federation. The hybrid training pulled staff from every state of the country to create awareness for the statutory responsibility of NIPOST and improve customer relations in order to create an efficient courier industry.
You might not be there when a customer will be telling another customer. While I actually spoke with someone from NIPOST to get information about this courier thing. That person was so patient. The way the person attended to me, in fact, I'm going into this business. So as a regulatory officer, you have a big role to play when it comes to interfacing with the customers. So you always have to have a positive and mental attitude in whatever you are doing, because you are the intermediary. We have different kind of customers. No matter what they bring to your table, you should be able to do what? You should be able to attend to them in a manner that gives a positive and a good image to the organization.
People say NIPOST is both an operator and a regulator. I mean, most of the private courier and logistics operator always come up with this question. They always raise it. Some are actually willing to challenge it in the court of law. Why is the act done to favor NIPOST? Why is NIPOST a regulator? Why can't we have an independent regulator? So you are likely to meet with some of these customer dissonance. You are likely going to meet with some of these queries. So you should also be equipped and know how to handle them as they come.
The Assistant General Manager of Legal Service and Compliance, Miriam Joga Igundeji, spoke on the importance of the knowledge of the law in improving the service of the Courier Logistics Department and efficiency of NIPOST across the nation.
Without you knowing the laws backing anybody, any government body, without knowing the actual laws that are backing them, you can't really, you're just standing on nothing. So this will actually go a long way, because it will make them confident when they deal with the public. It will make them more grounded. They will be able to have a voice for the department, a voice for NIPOST as a whole. And I think there will be good turnovers, because when the public approach them for a license, they will know how to guide them, and they will know what to do, the documents that is required of them, what to request for, and how to also guide them on the actual category to go for.
Also in attendance at the training were technical partners of NIPOS Triangle Technology, who spoke on the role in aiding NIPOS improve its ability to regulate the market.
What is the main thrust of our technology is to be able to register and to capture every single person that is operating in the market right now. As it is right now, we have a lot of people that are not documented. We have a lot of people who are participating in the industry and we don't even know who they are. NIPOS doesn't know who they are, the CLR doesn't know who they are. And we're just trying to bring a little bit more transparency to the industry by having people register on the platform which we have deployed for NIPOS CLRD. For us to be able to identify people, because if we don't identify what size the market is and how do we make the market grow? So a lot of what we're doing is to make sure that we create a level of accountability and to also improve security, improve efficiency in the markets by getting everybody to join the platform.
Dotun Shonde, the General Manager, Courier and Logistic Regulatory Department, speaks on the significance of the training.
Training is to maximize the potentials of NIPOS as the regulatory agency in all the states of the Federation. So we have decided to bring in all the staff in the states. You agree with me that NIPOS is located in all the states of the Federation and in all the local governments. So the essence is to effectively monitor the courier and logistics industry throughout the Federation in each state to also avail the opportunity for investors in each of the states.
This is AIT Infotech Network, reaching you from Freetown in Sierra Leone,
Addis Ababa in Ethiopia,
Johannesburg in South Africa. We are in Cairo in Egypt, Tunis, the financial capital, reaching you from Dubai, Hanover in Germany, Las Vegas in the United States of America, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. We are in Beijing, China, in London, England.
I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
You are still watching DG Vision Network. In the light of increasing global tensions, research and development of world powers is gaining more urgency as they spend billions on weapons and armor to gain a competitive advantage. Well, some say peace is being able to sleep safe at night, knowing my weapon is bigger than yours. On that note, our top 5 today will be looking at the top 5 amazing new military technologies. Enjoy this. On today's top 5, we'll be looking at top 5 amazing new military technologies. Let's get straight into it. At number 5, we have satellite melter. What's one way to remove an enemy satellite? Melt it. Several funded programs, including Elon Musk's SpaceX, is developing a satellite that will be designed to hunt and track adversary defense satellites. If done right, it will work by simple physics, reflecting a sunbeam on the enemy satellite that will, over the course of weeks, hit the opposing satellite just enough to make it fall off orbit and burn up the re-entry into the upper stratosphere. It would look like a brilliant strike in the sky. In fact, it would not be seen. That's the idea. At number 4, we have squid camouflage. Current camouflage can hide soldiers and their vehicles from human sight, but is close to useless against ever more common infrared vision system. Scientists at the University of California hope to fix that with what they call invisibility patches based on the structural protein common in squid, used to change the color and reflectivity of their skin. This protein called reflectin functions in the same wavelengths as night vision systems, and therein lies its promise. But scaling up this discovery to a useful military application could be many years off. At number 3 is plasma protection field. Boeing has filed a patent for a system that will protect vehicle from blast damage created by plasma field. The idea is to create an ionized air field that will deflect incoming blast. What it can't do is to stop an incoming projectile such as rocket-propelled grenade or anti-tank missile, but existing active protection systems such as Ami iron curtain are designed to handle those. Copy a vision of a dome appearing around a vehicle as in Star Wars The boom system would only defend in the direction of the incoming blast. At number 2 is laser cannon. The iconic science fiction weapon is closer than ever to reality. The US Navy's testing of its laser weapon system in the Persian Gulf went swimmingly, and the Navy expects to deploy even larger laser weapons aboard ships to protect them from threats such as small attack boats and drones. Meanwhile, on land, Boeing and the Army are working on truck-mounted laser that can zap incoming threats such as mortar shells or drones. One of the many benefits of laser is that it can be fired repeatedly for minimal costs. Just the diesel to power the truck-mounted generator that provides the burst of energy the laser concentrates downrange. And number 1, self-steering bullets. Packed with tiny sensors, a .50 caliber bullet under development can change course rapidly mid-air, potentially giving a mediocre shooter packed with tiny sensors. A .50 caliber bullet under development can change course rapidly mid-air, giving even a mediocre shooter sniper-like accuracy with the ability to hit moving targets with ease. While the cost of these advanced rounds are still unknown, they are sure to be cheaper than rocket-propelled missiles, whose role they could sometimes fill. DARPA, which is working on an Exacto project with military contractor Teledyne Technologies and ammunitions maker Orbital ATK, is keeping mum on exactly how the bullet changes its flight. paths. A competing effort from the Department of Energy Sandia Labs uses laser to indicate the target while small fins on the bullet steers it in flight. Both programs are still in testing. Those are the top 5 amazing new military technologies. Thanks for staying with us. Up next is our guest of the week, and she is the Director of Legal and Regulatory Service of NCC, Josephine Amuwa. You are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and good morning.
Now, the Legal and Regulatory Service is a key department towards the success of the Commission's mandate. Can you tell us some key activities in helping the NCC deliver on its objectives?
That's true. I think every organization needs a very dynamic and active legal department. The legal department basically is our department actually legal and regulatory. So we handle both legal matters and regulatory matters. For legal matters, we give the board and management advice on the operations of the Act, the Nigerian Communications Act 2003, and any other law that affects the operation of the sector, not just the Commission. So if any law impacts any of our operators, we also advise on such laws. We advise management about activities of the operators, how to deal with the operators to ensure that everything we do is above board. The law gives us a lot of powers. The Commission has a lot of functions, and it also allows us to monitor and enforce sanctions against operators in the industry. And when you have such powers, you have to make sure that you are said to be in a quasi-judicial position. So you must make sure that the steps that you want to take are clear, well known to the participants, and that you make sure that your rules or sanctions follow due process. So that is one of the key things that we make sure we do. So for instance, another department informs us there's been an infraction. We have to look at the infraction to actually determine that there's actually an infraction. If there's no infraction, we have to advise the department that there was no infraction. And if there's an infraction, we have to take all the steps stated in the law to sanction and to ensure that that sanction is actually paid.
Now let's look at the issue of consumer protection. With the instrumentality of your regulatory function, how do you ensure consumers are protected and given the best of service from telecom providers?
Like I said, we have a consumer protection regulation. Apart from the fact that the Act, the Nigerian Communications Act, under Section 4, says that one of the powers or one of the functions of the Commission is the protection of consumers from unfair practices, from anti-competitive practices of operators. So one of the ways we do that is to ensure that consumers know their rights. They know, for instance, that if they are overcharged, they can come to us. If they are not satisfied with any service that they have, they can come to us. On the operator side, we make sure that they submit to us before they start. Any operator that wants to start business must submit his own consumer practices guideline. And those guidelines, there are so many things that we make sure is there. What are the services you are providing? On what terms are you providing those services? What are the compensation? What compensation do you give out for customers generally, if you know there are issues where you have to attend to such customers?
Can you give an example of how your regulation has helped to resolve one or two specific customer issues?
Okay, one of the guidelines I will introduce now. You know, one of our functions is to ensure that there is pervasive service across the whole Nigeria. But you realize that people don't have service in rural areas. In some areas, no network. One of the things that we are introducing, we've introduced recently, is a roaming guideline that will ensure that where there is no service in a particular center or rural area, and there is another network that has service in that area, a customer can roam on that network that has service. So the issue of Nigerians carrying two hand phones, 3 hand phones will be lessened. You realize with the economic state that we are in now, people can no longer afford to have so many handsets. And the reason those handsets were important was because there were no services across the length and breadth of the country. So we've introduced the roaming regulation to ensure that if you go into a community and there is no service on your particular network, you can immediately roam to the network that is available.
Very well said. Thank you very much for your time. That was Josephine Amua, Director Legal and Regulatory Service, NCC. And that's about the size of this edition of DigiVation Network. Till I come your way next week, remember to stay informed by subscribing to our YouTube channel, DigiVation Network TV, and visiting our website and social media handles displayed on your screen. On behalf of our regular anchor, Bayero Agabi, it's bye for now. My name remains Prince Lee Momodu.